It's kickoff time for the Cigar International's Let's Talk Stil'rs show. Sponsored by Cigars International. Stop by our Bridgeville store today. Parking Chair Vodka. Respect the chair. It's a Pittsburgh thing. Forest Lodge and Campground. Cooks Forest, PA. Your adventure starts here. Visit Canton, Ohio. Red Fox Winery and Lounge. Let's talk Stil'rs.
Bruh. Defense. Soft.
Oh,
I'm tired of seeing the offensive linemen pushing our D-line 2-3 yards deep. We're undisciplined or poorly coached or both. We have a horrible defensive scheme. It's trash. It's garbage. We can't adjust at halftime. It's non-existent. Or we're just being outcoached, or both.
Huddle up, Steelers Nation. Let's talk Steelers. I'm Tank. He's Mike, the former NFL quarterback, live on tape. Actually, we film on Tuesday. The show's on Sunday. I don't know what you call that. From Cigars International here in Bridgeville. What the Fraggle Rock is going on is the quote of the week by Debo James Harrison. What the Fraggle Rock, said James Harrison, of this Steelers defense mostly. Did you see that? He went off.
He's not happy with the defense.
Nobody's happy with the defense.
And obviously they gave up a big play and a busted coverage, single safety, cover 3. And no one covered the seam right up the field, and a big touchdown by DJ Moore. So that's the one that kind of sticks out the most. You don't get guys that open in the NFL. I mean, and
the Bears were just—they
had the perfect play call. They had 4 verts called versus cover 3. I mean, and no one carries number 2. Can't get any easier for Caleb Williams than that.
Hey, in our second segment, Mike played at the highest level for the Lions and Eagles at quarterback. We're going to talk about what is cover 2, what is cover 3, what is 2-man high, because I know a lot of you out there watch the show. You don't know what the terms really mean. Then we're going to get into how it lets the Steelers down against the Bears, quite arguably against the Bills this weekend too. I want to go back to what happened in Chicago. Mike, a couple weeks ago, I told you the defensive line was not getting off the ball. They weren't attacking. I mean, it was really prevalent against the Bears this week. They're not getting any drive off of the ball, whether it be on passes, whether it be the run game. I don't know what's being coached to this defensive line right now. They've got to get better pressure.
You say that, but at the same time, the other teams are professional athletes as well.
I get
They've got good scheme, and Steelers came away with the defensive touchdown, actually. So you can't be too upset with them when the defense gets, 7 points for you.
I'm very upset with them because Cam Hayward held out for a big-time contract, more money. TJ's getting paid more money, all right?
He's got
your number one record. I love that, though. That was a brilliant play, and that's what you expect from TJ. I expect more from your first-round draft choice, Mr. Harmon. Look, that's a snot-knocker position. They basically have Harmon, your number 1 draft choice, playing nose guard. I need you to do something. Dominate the lineman in front of you. Go find the ball. Go hunt. Go eat. It's not overcomplicated. I'm really disappointed in the defensive line, although Benton is having a decent season. This all dominoes defensively. Now we're going to get into something that everybody's screaming about. You've heard me scream about it going back to Matt Canada. Where is the middle of the field, both offensively and defensively? And I want to go to defense right now. Patrick Queen needs to be put on the bench. You either got to go with Sawyer to complement Peyton Wilson, or you got to go with Harrison. to complement him. Peyton Wilson is a cover linebacker, right? You need a hard thumper in there to stop a running game. They did a good job against the Bears.
Yeah, they held the Bears to 99 yards rushing. So, I mean, they kept them under 100.
They did, and we expected much more out of the two-headed Hydra with Swift and the Mongoose there against the Bears. But, Mike, for 2 years you've heard me talk about Patrick Queen. He is ineffective on run. He is ineffective on run. He gets stuck behind the big lineman. He stops in the hole. You heard James Harrison talk about it on his podcast this week, that there's no spatial awareness with the pass coverage of the Steelers. I've talked about it time and time about Patrick Queen. I don't know whether he doesn't have periphery vision or what it is. He'll let a tight end run right through his zone, no hands on him, let him go, he makes a catch. The Steelers have to commit to a linebacker combination that provides you a thumper that's going to light people up, like Sawyer, like Harrison, and Peyton Wilson. The center of the field is wide open.
Well, you look at, that they got the defensive touchdown. They did a decent job stopping the run. To me, it is the pass defense a little bit. You see the wide open touchdown to DJ Moore. On paper, I thought the defense, did a pretty decent job. But when you do see it, you do see no disruption at the line of scrimmage. They call the illegal contact after 5 yards. So you're allowed to disrupt before that, and when you do that, it disrupts the timing of the passing game. Multiple times, you have a young year 2 quarterback, first year in the system. Obviously, you have an offensive genius on the other side, head coach Ben Johnson, working with this young quarterback. So he's not going to be perfect. He's going to make mistakes. He's elusive. He can make guys miss, get out, and save some plays. But multiple times, you saw him kind of throw some bad throws behind his receivers, and that game could have got away from the Steelers a little bit. I thought the defense held up. I thought Caleb Williams missed a few throws, but the key is that getting them jammed at the line of scrimmage, being a little like what you talked about, the spatial awareness in the passing game. There were some throws missed. However, the Bears made enough plays at the end to pull it out. Is it all the defense? No. Can the defense be fixed? Yes, it absolutely needs to be fixed if you want to go deep in the playoffs and have a playoff run and then go try to win a Super Bowl.
Playoffs?
But you look, that division right now is struggling.
Did you see Mr. Burrows came back?
Hey, listen, we don't know what happened. We're filming on Tuesday. Thursday night, Bengals-Ravens play, and the Bengals aren't even out of it yet. There's still a chance for them to get in it with 2 wins. So there's a lot in this division right now that's there. Obviously, they didn't have Rodgers. I thought Mason Rudolph did a pretty decent job numbers-wise. Yeah. However, as managing the game, I don't know if you saw the clip. On the offensive side, you saw Rodgers on the sideline. Oh, my goodness, they're in the wrong formation. So that little stuff, having that veteran can get guys lined up. But again, you saw them, lined up in the wrong formation, 2 guys off the ball in an illegal formation, basic football, 101. It's taught at the high school level. You expect high school kids to make that mistake. Actually, I don't expect that to be. I get pissed when that happens. So when you're doing it at the professional level, that needs to be fixed. And that's just a lack of awareness, football knowledge on the players' part. That is taught by coaches, but at the same time, the players got to pay a little bit more attention. They got to lock in during the week. They got to realize what is a legal formation, what is not. Same thing on the defense. Where is the spatial awareness? And when you get a guy running right down the middle of the field on a seam route for a gimme touchdown, that is on the defense. Again, defensive touchdown, huge. You don't get those too often. When you do that, you typically win those games. However, there was too many other mistakes here and there. They did a decent job stopping the run early. You saw them the Bears had some key runs later in the game, but then you saw Caleb Williams able to find some guys and make some good enough throws to beat the Steelers.
All right, the middle of the field. Let's switch to the Steelers offense when we come back for the next segment. Again, the middle of the field on the Steelers offense.
Middle of the field.
Middle of the field. So you have an end zone, some hash marks. What's in the middle, Mike?
Are you talking deep middle or intermediate middle?
When we come back to segment number 2 here from Let's Talk Steelers, Mike and I are going to talk about the lack of attacking the middle of the field and explain a little bit what cover 2 and cover 3 is.
Who is that man with the big cigar? He's known around from near and far. That actor man with the big cigar. He pops away every night and day with a twinkle in his eye. And all the while, behind that smile lurks many an untold lie. Down Whitehall Way, you'll see his car. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere with the big cigar.
Parking chair vodka. Respect the chair. It's a Pittsburgh thing.
Lawrenceville Distilling.
Let's Talk Steelers.
Hey, it's time for this week's Parking Chair Vodka Shot of the Week. You know, Parking Chair Vodka, it's a Berg thing. I'm telling you, it's smooth. If you're paying money to Tito's, you're sending your money to Texas, keep your money in Pittsburgh. Try Parking Chair Vodka. It is time for the Parking Chair Shot of the Week. It's so smooth. Shot of the Week. Mike Tomlin, what is wrong with you? There's a minute 59 on the clock, right? It's 4th and 9, and you're going to punt the ball away. You got so lucky to get the ball back at all. Because I tell you what, if you wrestle a Wolverine, I said wrestle a Wolverine, chances are 3 out of 4 times you're going to get mauled by that Wolverine. Mike Tomlin, this week's Shot of the Week is you being a numbskull and punting with a minute 59 left when you have the ball. Welcome back to Let's Talk Steelers from Cigars International here in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania. Don't forget to get some Parking Chair Vodka from the bartender to go. Have you had the pierogies here yet? They're awesome. All the food here, I mean, it's really good. You could have a cigar, you could eat food, you can drink vodka, you could, I don't know what you do. All right, I want to talk about this chitty bang bang dunk and dink offense that showed up in Chicago. I'll hand it off to you first.
Well, you know, I think when you look at it, you know, you got DK Metcalf. Yeah, you know, he goes out and he gets 5 catches, you know, 8 targets, but 22 yards. That's 4.4 yards per catch. And he's your stud. He's the guy you went out in this offseason. He's going to be your big playmaker. 4.4 yards per catch is not good enough. And if you look at the Steelers, anyone that had more than 1 catch, so 2 catches or more, Darnell Washington was leading with 11 per reception. Then you had 11, 9, 7, 5, and 4 was their average. When you go look at the Bears, guys that had more than 1 catch, you know, theirs are 17, 15, 14, 12, and 12.
Where they're supposed to.
So that the yards per reception is much higher the ball, whether it's getting pushed downfield or guys are getting the ball in space and getting yards after the catch with their legs. But the thing is DK Metcalf, 5 catches, 22 yards. He's not getting in space. He's not getting down the field. And it's a little bit of a disappointment.
I've said it before, Arthur Smith is just in the line of Todd Haley, Fichtner, Matt Canada. He's your next horrible offensive coordinator.
They took some shots. A
50-50 jump ball is not a shot.
But like to your point,
a slant to the post is a shot.
You're wanting those you got the play action. You had the run game going. Jalen Warren had a good game. Gainwell had a good game. Now you got to utilize that play action pass and attack that middle of the field. Get the linebackers up, get the safeties back. Do we have the guy that can take the top of the coverage off so you can get that? So you can get the fake. You can get the linebackers up with the fake because the play action run game, because the run game is going a little bit, or the run game's hitting more on the edges. That's what you do notice. You're not seeing the run game up the middle as much. It's more edge run game, but still, you can still get those linebackers up. It's just you have someone to take the top off to get the safety back so you can get that intermediate level open. And if you don't, it's gonna be hard fighting. You gotta take some of those shots down the middle of the field on some posts
the middle?
And soften them up. Not on the outside on the sideline where a defender can actually use that sideline as the 12th defender. And if a receiver doesn't do a great job of stacking the DB, which just means cutting him off and giving the quarterback room, now it has to be that perfect throw, the perfect timing. And if you're a little late with a backup quarterback, again, you don't get the reps that the other guys do get. And so the timing's off a little bit. I thought Mason, he either could have cut it loose a little further, or he could have got it out just a half second quicker so the receivers weren't slowing down for it. But again, that's a much harder throw than throwing a deep post down the middle of the field where you can kind of throw it to a space and let a guy go make a play.
Mike Tomlin, there is a middle of the field. Arthur Smith, there's a middle of the field. You played under Andy Reid with the Eagles. If Andy Reid knew that the Bears were down to 3rd and 4th team inside linebackers, what would he have done? He would have attacked them, I'm assuming, with tight ends like Darnell Washington. He would have attacked the A and B gaps, wouldn't he have, Mike?
Well,
or would you just go, they're down to their 3rd and 4th team? This couldn't be vulnerable.
Well, Coach Reid always looks for those mismatches. He always looks for who are his playmakers?
14 linebackers, a mismatch on Zach Frazier.
How do they get their playmakers the football and getting it to him early? I was very fortunate to have Terrell Owens on our team, a great player. And I remember sitting down every Saturday morning. Andy Reid was like, hey, we got to get T.O. X amount of touches on that first series. We're scripting the first 15 plays. This ball's got to go to T.O. We got to almost force feed him. We got to manufacture some motions, some shifts, something where you get the one-on-one matchup so that ball is definitely going to, because he's going to win a one-on-one matchup. And that's the thing. And then the other thing was, we had Brian Westbrook at the time, an elite running back, an elite route runner who could catch the ball out of the backfield and get those mismatches. You're just not seeing guys winning those one-on-ones the way they need to be, or they're not manufacturing it. I don't know, but there's a little something off right now.
Look, you see that Darnell Washington is a weapon. You're down to your 3rd and 4th string linebackers. Let him eat. Let him go to work. Destroy those linebackers. Destroy the middle of the field with those quick passes. Attack those linebackers. You got Gainwell. You got another great running back in Jalen Warren. Attack those linebackers. Get those 3rd, 4th team linebackers so discombobulated you can attack with a well-articulated offense, not the chitty, bang, bang, dunk and dink Arthur Smith offense.
Well, you saw
that he took into Chicago.
They try to confuse the running backs, the linebackers a little bit with the shifts and the motions.
How'd it work?
But
who won the game?
But the problem
How many points did you put up?
The problem was, to me, is the players, again, coaches can give you scheme, but the players have to execute. And the thing is, when you do the shifts and motions, they talked about that on the broadcast. So we're going to try to make those linebackers communicate and struggle communicating with each other. But the problem is the players didn't lock in, and when the shifts and motions, they didn't get into a proper legal formation, and penalties will hurt you at times.
I'll tell you what a scheme isn't. It's not getting Spencer Anderson out there and making him a part of a run package, play after play after play. Broderick Jones has now got your starting quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knocked out. Mr. Arthur Smith, listen to me. Take Spencer Anderson and put him at left tackle. End of this garbage of all the nonsense.
Again, I thought the offense, very early in the game, I thought they did some really good things. They were pulling out all the stops, had a couple trick things. You had the split zone with the big Darnell Washington on the end. I mean, absolutely annihilated.
Freiermuth had
early
a great
in the
catch.
game, they did a really good job. I think what happens is when you got late in that game, you were forced to rely on your quarterback. Obviously, this is his first start back in over a year. So, someone's got to step up and help him out and make a play when the game's on the line. I thought early in the game, I thought the offensive scheme was pretty solid. In that fourth quarter, though, it kind of went a little dry.
I'm going to dig up some turf from my backyard and send it to Mike Tomlin that says this is what the middle of the field looks like. We'll be right back to Let's Talk Steelers right after this.
Who is that man with the big cigar? He's known around from near and far. That actor man with the big cigar. He pops away every night and day with a twinkle in his eye. And all the while, behind that smile lurks many an untold lie. Down Whitehall Way, you'll see his car. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere with the big cigar.
Parking chair vodka. Respect the chair. It's a Pittsburgh thing.
Lawrenceville Distilling.
Let's Talk Steelers.
Hey, don't forget about Forest Lodge and Campground. I was up there this fall. It's beautiful. Go north of Pittsburgh, Cook's Forest. You're going to love it up there. You can drink beer and talk Steelers all day long around the beautiful fire pits at Forest Lodge and Campground. Go check out Forest Lodge and Campground. It's up in Cook's Forest. It's beautiful. It was beautiful. There was a violinist. Mindy and I were drinking white wine. I was smoking cigars this fall. Stayed at the Forest Lodge. It's beautiful. You were not invited.
Yeah.
All right, the Bills come to town, and the Bills Mafia is coming to town. Mike, they're supposedly going to buy every single seat in the stadium. They're going to buy lawn chairs and jump into them, and every chicken in Westmoreland County.
Tables.
I don't know what they jump on. They're drunk up there in Buffalo. This is a decisive game for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's talk about Josh Allen, that potent Bills offense against this faltering, however spectacular against the Colts defense, Mike. How do they shut down a guy at quarterback who's got close to 3,000 yards passing? Their running back is close to 1,000 at this point, and he's a weapon out of the backfield for 300-400 yards catching. How does that Steelers defense attack this Bills offense?
Yeah, well, it's going to be tough because you got to try to contain Josh Allen. Now, if you look, recently Josh Allen has been making some poor decisions. He's turned the ball over. So he will take his shots. And also, the Bills are kind of dealing with a little in-house stuff. They're trying to hold their players accountable. You see Keon Coleman being benched, a healthy scratch 2 weeks in a row. So listen, they're going to do things the right way. They're going to make sure their players are held accountable. And, hey, listen, if you're not going to do it the right way, then you're not going to play, and we'll find a way to win without you. We do have Josh Allen. They do have James Cook, who's got over 1,000 yards rushing right now. He's come into his own. Obviously, the last few years, a young runner, it takes a while sometimes. You look at the same thing with Jahmyr Gibbs. It took him a while to finally see how those runs develop. He learned from David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs is off and running for the Lions. You see James Cook, he's off and running with the Bills. He's number 2 in rushing right now, right behind Jonathan Taylor. So you got to stop the run. You got to force Josh Allen to get a little bit more cavalier with the football because he will take those chances. You've seen the highlights where all of a sudden he's falling down, throws a left-handed pass, a right-handed pass.
He's a magician.
He does some good things, and it looks great when it works out.
He'd look good in the black and gold uniform.
There's times when that stuff doesn't work out, and now all of a sudden you look a little silly. And it's been biting him in the butt the last few weeks. A couple more turnovers than normal. I think he had a 2-interception game recently. So forcing him, get pressure on him, but keep him contained and force him to try to do something silly with the ball, get your offense more possessions, and then try to keep them off the field. Obviously, Buffalo has a pretty solid defense. Coach McDermott does a good job.
Yeah.
Every year they're very productive. But the thing is getting a few turnovers, get Josh Allen to make those bad decisions, and then chew the clock up. Not let them be on the field. And when you chew the clock up, get points out of it.
Yeah.
Because last week they won the time of possession battle against Chicago, but they didn't get the points they needed to and then it gave Chicago another opportunity to come back and then tie that game or go win that game. So to me, again, force Josh Allen to make some bad decisions, control the football, control the clock, but finish off with points.
All right, so we know a lot of you didn't play football, but you love your Pittsburgh Steelers. You love defense because that's what Steeltown is based on, is defense. Mike, just a layman's term. I want you, because a lot of people out there are hearing 2 high safeties. What does that mean? What does cover 2 mean? What does cover 3 mean? In layman's terms, to explain to the folks.
Well, a lot of times, people, you can go even further, middle field open, middle field closed. And middle field open is typically 2 safeties, which is cover 2. Middle field closed can also be 2 safeties in quarters, because now you have quarters, 2 high safeties, you got a quarter. So 4 guys deep, all quarters are covered. 2 high, they're going to split. That's where the middle of the field is open. So middle of the field open is 2 high, or cover 0 when they're sitting down, squat, and bringing all pressure, no safety help. Those where you can get some big plays defensively, but also can bite you in the butt. As a quarterback, you're going to get man coverage with that cover 0. That's where you can get those. Yeah, listen, you're going to get hit in the mouth, but you also can get a chance at a big play and a touchdown because there's no one else back. Cover 2, you have to take your shots. Do you have can you get that linebacker to bite up when those safeties split into 2 high, and now that Mike's got the deep middle of the field? If he bites up on any play fake, now there's that weakness right there. Otherwise, you got to kind of dink and dunk in the soft spots with 2 high safeties. Cover 1, cover 3 is single safety typically. You'll get rotation. 3 is 3 deep zone. You got 4 underneath in zone coverage, unless you're bringing some fire zone with an extra pressure. It could be 3 and 3, bring in 5. Or then you get that cover 1 man-to-man, which is similar to 0, except now you have a free safety helping, and you're trying to funnel him. The quarterback's got to do a good job in man-to-man with the man free to look that safety off and then find the man matchup over here. If you stare it down, that safety is going to follow your eyes and pick you off clean. So there's a lot that goes into it. Bottom line is, the Steelers got to be better at disrupting the timing at the line of scrimmage in that 5-yard zone so you don't get the illegal contact.
Get your hands on a tight end.
Again, this is, you talk about this being a big game, a must-win for the Steelers. This is a must-win for the Bills. They're that last seed in the wild card playoff right now. They're looking, outside. They're outside looking in because the Patriots are control that division. Okay, now Drake May, he's back. They're in control. The Bills got to fight for that wild card playoff. The Steelers are, kind of hoping the Bengals can kind of make a run a little bit at the Ravens on Thursday night. We'll know Thursday what happens there. But again, this is a must win for the Steelers, because they're fighting for that wild card playoff. And this is a little bit of a head-to-head matchup with the Bills when it comes down to it. It's not just an in-conference game or an in-division game. It's a conference game, which is a wild card. Essentially, it's a wild card playoff type battle.
Who will show up? The defense that shut down the high-flying Colts are the ones that laid an egg against the Bengals. I'm Tank. He's Mike from Cigars International in Bridgeville. Don't forget to come to the Christmas party on December 13th. I'm dressing up like an elf. I'm going to get a reindeer, and you're dressing up like a snowman, and it's going to be great. And we're going to drink parking chair vodka, and I'm going to get drunk.
Who is that man with the big cigar? He's known around from near and far. That actor man with the big cigar. He puffs away every night and day with a twinkle in his eye. And all the while behind that smile lurks many an untold lie. Down Whitehall Way you'll see his car. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere with the big cigar.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show. You could get something that is serious one day. We don't feature a running back in too many offenses anymore. It could be off the rails. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
You like big-name guests. You like somebody who asks intelligent questions. You like fun. We're the show for you.
Yeah! The home of The Dan Patrick Show. Fox Sports Wheeling, 1400 AM and 103.9 FM.
Parking chair vodka. Respect the chair. It's a Pittsburgh thing.
Lawrenceville Distilling.